Hey, what's up? This is Mikey for Blue Monkey Bicycles, and guess what? I had the chance to try out a bike that I've had my eye on for a while, the Defender S from Eunorau. Recently, I went down to Las Vegas to check out the USA office for Eunorau, which is a Chinese importer of electric bikes. If you want to check out that video, you can go to the Electrek channel, but here, we're talking about the Defender. While I was there, I got to sneak out and get some time behind the bars of this dual motor, dual suspension, dual battery monster of an electric bike. You may remember that I made a video about the launch of this bike back in the crowdfunding phase. Back then I was kind of guessing at what the performance might be like since I had experience both on Eunorau's dual motor bike and their dual suspension bike, again from the same company. By the way, since I didn't get a lot of time to film the Defender because I'm comparing these different bikes, I'm going to show you up on the corner of the screen which bike is currently being shown, so try to make things clear. Anyways, I was not disappointed with the Defender. The frame is based on the huge leap forward that Eunorau did with the Fat HS. That's a mid-drive dual suspension fat tire bike, and then they upgraded pretty much everything on that bike when they made the Spectre. The dual motor system for the Defender kind of comes from the Fat all-wheel drive bike, which is honestly kind of a weird bike. It's kind of a goofy bike because Eunorau put this dual motor system onto like a fat tire hybrid city bike. It's kind of weird. Anyways, they have now taken that really fun system and they've put it onto the dual suspension platform. And now they can more convincingly utilize this motor system that previously was on kind of a strange one. I went looking around Las Vegas's industrial side to kind of find some stuff to ride it on. I didn't find too much, but I found a little bit. Nonetheless, even on the pavement and loose rocks of the off-ramp nearby, the motor output was incredible. With almost no momentum, the Defender could use both motors to spring up super steep inclines with no trouble at all. The selector switch is a really handy way to utilize either the front motor, the back motor, or both at the same time. The customization made it a lot of fun to experiment. I generally like to use the single rear motor to get somewhere on pedal assist, and then once I got to the place, I would use dual motor and full throttle to just jump around and play around. Now, I gotta say, using two motors at full throttle, it really did eat up the battery fast. It shouldn't be too much of a surprise though. The minimum range that I would estimate if you are going full throttle on both motors might be as low as around 5 miles or so. Now, this is actually where the dual battery comes into play. The Defender has the dual battery option, just like the other bikes that use this same frame. And if you plan on going for broke with riding this bike, I would highly recommend getting the second battery. Using the same frame, I have installed the dual battery system on both the Fat HS and the Spectre S. And, you know, the Defender is going to be exactly the same. It even has the same port. With a bit of TLC, I got a super tight fit, and I love having the extra capacity when I was using it on a single motor bike. So aside from eating the battery really fast, I've got good news and also a little bit of bad news. The bad news is that the brakes on the Defender S are really not that great. Around town and doing some fun lightweight trails, it's not a big deal. The brakes would be okay. However, if you really want to live the adventure that this bike is advertised for, then presumably you've got to get back down the hill. And I found that these brakes to be barely adequate when I used them on the single motor bike. Now with a dual motor bike, adding a few more pounds, the scales are tipped up a little further and the bike weighs in at 84 pounds, but 90 pounds with a second battery for the Defender S. The good news is that I actually complained about this to Eunorau, and they said that for now they will offer an upgrade kit for customers who want the better brakes. I told them I would be the first in line. Now, although it puts the cost and service burden onto the customer, it's still a good thing overall. It's good that Eunorau acknowledges either improvements or options for their bike, and it's also good to add a layer of safety, especially for high torque, high spec, and perhaps high height applications. Other than that, I think the Defender is a wildly fun electric bicycle, even with the limited time that I had in the saddle. If you're looking for the biggest, baddest e-bike out there, then the Defender S will defend the title pretty well. Thank you for watching this harried review of the Defender S from Eunorau. There's a link in the description if you want to check that out. I am Mikey for Blue Monkey Bicycles, and I will see you on the later.